okay? Life is full of ups and downs, okay? That's the reality of it, right? If everything is going really great for you, right? Everything's going awesome emotionally, financially, physically, health-wise, family-wise, whatever, at some point, it's not going to be. And that's not me trying to scare you, okay? That's me presenting the reality of it. But what's important to remember is while everything, that law goes that way, it also goes the same the other way, okay? If it feels like the world is literally crashing down all around you, and it feels like everything is bad, and it feels like you're in a place in your life that it's always going to be bad, or something like that, it's important to remember that it's not, okay? You're not in a permanent place, okay? The bad times that are happening to you right now are not permanent, okay? And get that into your head, okay? Keep telling it to yourself until you believe it, because it is the truth, okay? Just because you're in a bad place does not mean you're going to stay there. And that's one thing that it's difficult a lot of times for us to remember that, because we tend to like forget that, because we tend to, as people, we live in the moment, right? And when you live in the moment, it's easy to look at a situation and think that your current state that you're in is going to be your forever state. And it's important to remember that that's not necessarily the case. So if you're living in a bad situation, or you're living in a bad time, and you're really stressed out and you're really anxious, or if things aren't going good health-wise, things aren't going good financially, things aren't going good physically, it's important to remember that that is not necessarily permanent, okay? And things will get better, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? Just in case anyone out there needs to hear that, right? If you're in a situation where things just aren't going good for you, just keep in mind things will turn around, all right? I promise you they will, okay? Now, it may not be easy. It may require a lot of work. It may just take a bit more time, because remember, it's not like you're going to get 5 good days and then 5 bad days, right? All I'm just saying that is if it feels like you've been on the bad day train for a while, just know that at some point you're going to get off that and you're going to hop on the good day train. Okay, just keep that in mind. Anyway, hopefully that, helps somebody. Sometimes, here's the thing, guys. The reason I say that is because I've been in that mindset, right? Where I felt like I was in a bad place. And, this is it. Every day is going to be bad day, right? And sometimes those bad day train rides can be a long time, right? They can be a while. And so you can feel like, hey, I've been riding this train for months or years or something like that, right? But when you actually remind yourself that it's not permanent, then there's a weird thing that happens. A, it makes you more appreciative of the good times. B, it starts to highlight things in your life that you go, you know what? That actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was, right? You start to look back on days and you start to think, maybe I wasn't on the bad day train when that particular thing happened, right? And it also helps put things in your life into perspective, right? I can tell you there's situations that, looking back on it, I feel almost blessed that the problems I had to deal with weren't as bad as some other things that I know other people have had to deal with, right? And having that perspective, I think, on a lot of things is healthy, because it helps keep me mentally in check, and it helps me kind of appreciate, when things are not going as bad as they could be, right? I don't know, because I can think of a lot of people who are going through situations in their life that are way worse than me, right? And so I can feel, pretty blessed even when things aren't necessarily going that great. I can still, it helps me, kind of think about that. I don't know if that helps anybody. I hope it does. Just trying to give you, that's the Bad Boy Halo mini TED Talk for you. My little Bad Boy Halo TED Talk. Hope you guys, and again, I'll say this just because I'm always going to say this. You guys have heard me say this a million times, so I'm going to say it again, because I know there's always somebody who watches or hears me say something, and there's going to be someone who's going to go, Bad Boy Halo, that doesn't sound good, good advice. For my situation, my situation's different. I'm just going to say this. Ready? In fact, you guys have probably heard me say this so much, so if you want to say it in chat, go for it. Advice is like a tool in a tool belt, right? Some advice is good for one situation, while other bits of advice are good for another, right?